Good afternoon, friends. This video for important action you should take in the month of March 2022, which would be for the closure of financial year 21-22 and way forward for the financial year 2022-23. Look at the 9 important action need to be taken. The first, your invoice series for outward supply need to be changed starting from April 1, 2022. Second point, generation of invoice now compulsory for the taxpayer whose aggregate turnover is more than 20 crore in any of the preceding financial year starting from 2017-18. And aggregate turnover means turnover to be calculated on pan-India basis. It is applicable for B2B supply, credit note, debit note and export, and who are exempted: government department, local authority, SEZ unit, special economic zone unit, but not the developer. Then we got banking, insurance and financial including NBFC. Then we got GTA, Goods Transport Agency, passenger transportation services, then multiplexes cinema admission. These are excluded for compulsory generation of invoicing. And simple, as I said in my different video, that for invoicing generation, your accounting and billing software, you must generate the invoice as per e-schema for specified particulars to be furnished in that particular invoice as per e-schema of INB01, which should be converted into JSON file and pushed to IRP, invoice registration portal. Invoice registration portal will verify all the particulars, specified particulars as per e-schema of invoice and then digitally signed with QR code and give unique invoice reference number, and which would be returned to the supplier, and supplier in turn can furnish and give to the intended buyer recipient. It is for B2B supply, as I said. Now IRP can also push the data to GST common portal for preparation of GSTR1, and even you can auto generate your eBay bill provided part A and part B are being furnished. So this is for the e-invoicing. Third point, for QRMP, quarterly return, monthly payment. So those taxpayer whose aggregate turnover is less than 5 crore, they can opt for QRMP. So they have to go to the GST common portal and opt for the QRMP in case they wanted to. Then we got composition scheme, whose aggregate turnover up to 1 crore rupees, they can opt for composition. So they have to go to the GST common portal and opt for the same. Way forward. Now next, LUT, letter of undertaking. When we are exporting goods or services or supplying to SEZ unit or developer without payment of tax, then LUT need to be executed. So if you are exporting and you have already executed LUT in 21-22, it need to be renewed for financial year 22-23. If you are starting your export in 22-23, make sure you are executing the LUT, letter of undertaking, for zero rated supply without payment of taxes. Having said, two important parameters you must keep to your mind: outward supply, on which you are paying GST. So first of all, you must reconcile, sitting as on 31st March 2022, your turnover coming as per books of accounts, furnished in GSTR1 and then shown in GSTR3B. Accordingly, taxes are being paid. Kindly make sure it is properly reconciled. What you need to reconcile: tax rate, classification, any credit note and debit note pertaining to the original invoices issued during this time period. So you need to reconcile all this thing which is falling under forward charge method. Now here said, outward liability. So forward charge means supplier is raising invoice and charging the tax. There may be some liability which you need to pay as a recipient, which is reverse charge liability for specified goods by notification number 4/2017 for specified goods and for specified services, which is falling under specified notification 13/2017. So you happen to be recipient of specified goods or services, RCM applicable. Make sure you are paying the taxes by showing the transaction appropriately in GSTR 3B and paying the taxes as per time of supply provision. If you are not paying RCM liability on time, then it may be liable along with interest, and interest rate is 18% per annum.
Talk to your clients from anywhere. Access your data anytime and from any device. Try Zoho Books.
So pertaining to your outward liability, which is forward charge liability, you have to pay and correctly reconcile as per books of account GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. So check your rate correctly applied or not, classification is correct or not, properly debit note, credit note is correct or not. And sometime when your buyer is coming back to you and he is not finding the transaction in auto-populated GSTR 2A or 2B, that may be because of you have wrongly furnished the particulars. Maybe GST number of your buyer, or B2B supply is being captured as a B2C, or maybe place of supply wrongly furnished by you in your GSTR 1. Those transactions need to be corrected. Time period is available. You can do in April to September 2022 also for the financial year 21-22, but it is the time you should sit down, reconcile everything. Coming back to ITC, input tax credit, check the credit which is coming in your books, which is auto-populated in GSTR 2A or 2B, and then you have shown in GSTR 3B. Yes, here one important aspect. We all are debating and we are saying that 2A is not relevant for determining credit. 2B is important because of subclause AA, which got inserted under section 16 subsection 2, which is being referred that credit must be auto-populated in GSTR 2B effective from January 1, 2022. But make sure if this credit is not coming in your 2B, but you have taken the credit in the books and taken the credit in 3B, there will be mismatch. You may have notices from the department. Get it reconciled. Reason could be your GST number is not correctly furnished by the supplier. B2B is being captured as a B2C, or maybe wrong place of supply, intrastate furnished as a interstate, or vice versa. In such cases, wherever differences are, please go back to your supplier for correction of those entries in case such invoices are not reflected in your GSTR 2B. Second, reversal of credit. If you happen to be recipient and you have not paid the payment to your supplier within 180 days from the date of issuance of invoice, you need to work out those credit need to be reversed along with interest at the rate of 18% per annum. So need to reverse means you should do as a reconciliation immediately so that you can stop your interest meter. And this is very important. And whenever you pay the amount, you can re-avail the credit without any time limit condition as per section 16 subsection 4 of CGST Act. And there is another reversal which is required in rule 42 and 43 pertaining to exempted supplies. For ITC, there are three buckets. Your ITC pertaining to taxable supplies, take 100% credit. Your ITC pertaining to exempted supplies, don't take any credit. And then common ITC pertaining to taxable and exempted supply. You need to pro rata reverse your ITC in terms of rule 42 and 43. And that need to be done by 31st March 2022. So as no interest leviable. After that, interest is going to be levied, so you have to be very, very careful for reversal a pro rata proportionate credit ITC, which is common ITC pertaining to exempted supplies. Now the last and final point for all of you. Since we are moving from 21-22 to 22-23, lot many things as a legacy for outward supply, even pertaining to 21-22, you may sow subsequent period April 22 to September 22. So capture the data separately so that you can fill up your 9 and 9C accordingly. So 21-22 data sown in 21 and 22, 20-21 to 22 data sown in April 22 to September 22 need to be bifurcated and properly sown for your preparation of 9 and 9C. It may be for outward supply, it may be pertaining to ITC, but keep to your mind time limit to avail credit under section 16 subsection 4, which is earliest of due date of furnishing 3B of September following the end of financial year. So for 21-22, last date would be due date furnishing 3B for September 22. September 22. So effectively, normally it would be 20th October 2022. But Finance Bill has proposed a change. Finance Bill 2022 has proposed the change by 30th November, which is yet to be notified. Keeping those parameters in mind, please prepare for taking effective action for closure of 21-22 and carry forward, way forward for 2022 and 23. Thanks for watching. Lot many on GSTs. Thank you very much.